Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for this day's lunchtime news bulletin, the second day of April 2022. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold and we're broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Now to start off with the bulletin, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has received credentials from 8 new envoys from the Republic of Cuba, the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, the Republic of South Korea, the State of Libya, the Republic of Colombia, the Republic of Sierra Leone, and the State of Israel and the Kingdom of Thailand. Now, during this meeting with the new Cuban envoy to Uganda, the president said that he is looking forward to strengthening the bilateral relationships between the two countries. Mrs. Tania Perez Sikis relayed greetings from President Miguel Diaz-Canel of Cuba to President Museveni and also briefed him about the situation in Cuba. She said that the country is recovering well from the COVID-19 pandemic. Details in this report.
President Yoweri Museveni has received credentials from 8 new envoys, including that of the Republic of Cuba, the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, South Korea, Libya, Colombia, Sierra Leone, Israel, and the Kingdom of Thailand. During his meeting with the new Cuban envoy to Uganda, Mrs. Tania Perez Sikis, the president said he's looking forward to strengthening the bilateral relations between their two countries. Ambassador Sikis relayed greetings from President Miguel Diaz-Canel of Cuba to President Museveni and also briefed him about the situation in Cuba.
It's my first time.
President Museveni also welcomed the new Algerian ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Sheriff Walid, with whom they discussed various issues including the situation in Western Sahara, regional security and economic transformation.
And now is
While meeting the new South Korean ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Park Sung-soo, President Museveni called for unity between South and North Korea, saying a united Korea can be a very strong power center. He welcomed the ambassador to Uganda. Later, President Museveni met the new ambassador of the State of Libya to Uganda, His Excellency Ibrahim Ahmed Sultan, with whom they discussed the situation in Libya. In a meeting with the new ambassador of Colombia to Uganda, Her Excellency Monica de Graif Lindo, President Museveni welcomed her to Uganda and encouraged her to exploit the rich natural resources that the two countries compete with to promote their mutual relationship. Ambassador de Graif relayed greetings from the President of the Republic of Colombia, His Excellency Ivan Duque Marquez, to President Museveni and said she looked forward to working in Uganda. President Yoweri Museveni also met the new Sierra Leone High Commissioner to Uganda, Her Excellency Isatu Bundu. Ms. Bundu relayed greetings from the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Woni-Bayo. Later, President Museveni met the new Israel envoy to Uganda, His Excellency Michael Otem, who briefed him about the situation in Israel. He also delivered greetings from the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Naftali Bennett, to President Museveni. The president also met the new Thailand ambassador to Uganda, Mrs. Sasirit Tangrat, who relayed greetings from the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Thailand, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, to President Museveni. She congratulated President Museveni upon his recent election to victory and commended Uganda's efforts in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
Furthermore, the body of the former Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah, spent the night at A+ Funeral Home. The body is expected to be chauffeured to his residence in Muyenga this Sunday. The remains of the former Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah, were returned to the country from Seattle, USA, on Friday aboard Ethiopian Airlines. Oulanyah's body was received by the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, Chief Justice Alfonso Wing-Dolo, among other government officials, at Entebbe International Airport. He's set to be buried on the 8th of April at his ancestral home in Ayom Loni village in Lalogi, sub-county, Omoro district, on the 8th of April.
At around 4:30 p.m., all roads around A+ funeral services were cordoned off to pave way for the return of the body of former Speaker of Parliament, the late Jacob Oulanyah. As expected, a heavy deployment and presence of security operatives were everywhere near Mengo Hospital, the neighbors' A+ funeral services. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, he is no more. The body of the late former Speaker of Parliament Oulanyah ushered into the gates of A+ funeral services, accompanied by Chief Justice Owini Odolo, Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Taebwa, and the DP President Norbert Mao. The body of the former Speaker of Parliament will be at the funeral home throughout the night for the embalmment, and on Saturday it will be presented to the family before a prayer service at his home in Muyenga Sunday morning.
Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong has pledged legislative commitment towards ensuring an end to any form of standoff between government and Buganda Kingdom. She gave this assurance shortly after receiving the Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, who was at Parliament to eulogize the fallen Speaker Jacob Oulanyah. Mayiga later paid a courtesy call on the leader of opposition, Mathias Mpuuga, where he challenged MPs from Buganda to advance the kingdom's interests. Henry Okrut reports.
By 9 a.m. on Friday, the leadership of Parliament at all levels started arriving. These included the leader of opposition, Mathias Mpuuga, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taebwa, and the Speaker, Anita Among Anet. They were here to receive the Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga. He was here to pay his respect to the fallen Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah. No sooner had he signed in the condolence book than he was ushered into the visitor's room for a brief meeting.
Jacob was somebody who loved everybody. He was somebody, a very peaceful man. He never wanted grudges. In memory of Jacob, we pledge to the country that will work for the common person, will work for everybody.
Here, Anita Among Anet promised to bridge any gaps between Buganda Kingdom and the central government.
And we are going to make sure that we work with the kingdom. We know the kingdom has issues with the government, and me and my deputy, we are going to make sure that we resolve all the outstanding issues that concern the kingdom that have not been resolved.
Mayiga welcomed the idea as he eulogized the foreign speaker.
If we prioritize the interests of the common person, how they live, the work they do, the health they receive when they visit health centers, the education they receive in schools, the opportunities that we accord them. If we do that, and I call that the common good, I think we shall have remembered the late Jacob Oulanyah appropriately.
He would later be treated to a guided tour of Parliament, which he concluded with a courtesy call on the leader of opposition, Mathias Mpuuga.
Wanabakkiriza obulyawo gye bujja alikola olukyalo olutongole leader opposition kiraba kitukola bulungi.
Mbasaba bulijjo musosoza abantu ne bye baagala nga mukola ng'abaana abe.
Other members of the public paid their last respects as members of parliament, headed to Entebbe International Airport to receive the body of Jacob Oulanyah.
We have lost a strong Ugandan, a strong cultural supporter, a person who believes in God, a person who reconciles easily.
We want to request the Almighty Allah to forgive him in whatever circumstances we have lost the Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah.
With his body already in the country, Oulanyah, who died on Sunday 20th March 2022, will be laid to rest on Friday 8th April of this same year. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Mothers to the children born during the LRA captivity under their umbrella organization, War Victims and Children Networking, are in deep sorrow after losing the man they were looking up to as the pillar in government. They say that the former speaker, Jacob Oulanyah, was fighting for their rights and had pledged to see that the government fulfills their promise of 20 billion shillings meant to support their livelihood. These are the details.
Since Sunday, the 20th of March 2022, when President Yoweri Museveni broke the news of the untimely death of Speaker Jacob Oulanyah, the country has been in mourning. Former wives of the LRA rebels are grieving late Speaker Oulanyah as the person who was their direct connection to the government. The motion we have presented in Parliament had not matured after being sent back to Parliament and him being elected as Speaker. He still had a lot to do for his new office. His death has left us with a big gap to fill. We ask the President to help us in our pledge. They explain that the former Speaker of the 11th Parliament was so helpful in pushing for their plea of the promised government support of 20 billion shillings.
And also in that motion, they will pass 20 billion that they are going to give for the livelihood for the women, for returnees and their children. The Speaker again promised that he is going to commit himself to make sure that that 20 billion should come to the war victims in Northern.
Stella urges the new Speaker of Parliament to help follow up on the government pledge.
My request to the new Speaker and the government, what our father left behind, they should continue it, and they should fulfill the need he started to work with the war victims. That is what we want from the new Speaker and the government of Uganda. And
George Ovola, a former volunteer at Charity for Peace Night Commuters, says death has robbed them of a patron, human rights defender and the icon of northern Uganda.
The leaders were raising voice to the government to come and protect children on schools. Oulanyah was one person together with the Mao who led in raising that voice in the parliament. They did not stop there. They came and joined the religious leader, Beka Ochola, Odama, to sleep together to make sure international community understands what night commuters is.
Before his death, Oulanyah had been working closely with the war victims to improve their living conditions. The former Speaker of Parliament is also remembered for his role in convincing the LRA rebels to bring stability to northern Uganda, especially during the Juba peace talks.
Now, as Muslims start their holy month of Ramadan, the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Muwajjeh, has asked all Muslims to repent for their sins before starting their fasting period, since Ramadan is a month of receiving blessings, mercy and forgiveness from Allah. These are the details.
Fasting has been described to you and decreed upon you as it was decreed upon those that were there before you, so that you may become righteous.
The Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje, has encouraged Muslims to work hard and be rightful in this holy month of Ramadan so as to harvest the fruits of fasting.
I therefore encourage Muslims to work hard during this month of Ramadan and earn more rewards from Allah by praying Taraweeh, giving Sadaqah, reciting the Holy Quran, reconciliation and forgiving one another.
Sheikh Shaban Mubaje also called upon the government of Uganda to provide a solution to high prices imposed on essential products that are used in homes.
The government steps in to save the common person, the common man, the common lady from these skyrocketing prices of the essential commodities. If we talk about soap, we talk about sugar, we talk about salt, things that are essential to the life of an individual.
Similarly, a call to the countries that are embracing wars has been made so as to stop bloodshedding in the holy month.
But the leaders in the fighting countries engage in peace talks and a ceasefire. We thank those countries that have already ceased fire in respect of Ramadan, like what we had regarding the war in Yemen.
Ramadan is a holy month of worship, studying of the Quran, prayers and fasting, and it occurs during the month in which the Muslims believe the Quran began to be revealed to the Prophet.
The Office of the Supreme Mufti Directorate of Sharia and Legal Affairs says Muslims across the country should start obeying and observing the holy month of Ramadan beginning this Saturday. The Director of Sharia, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Walusimbi, who advised Muslims to continue observing the 5-day prayers, help the needy and make the tahajjud a priority, disclosed the beginning of the fasting. Let's take a look.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. The Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed to you as it was prescribed on those who came before you, so that you can learn self-restraint. We are here in the Directorate of Sharia and Legal Affairs in the office of the Supreme Mufti here at Chibuli. After receiving the information from reliable sources, we have been reliably informed that the crescent has been seen. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar walillahi alhamd. This simply means that the observation of fasting for this year 2020, it is going to begin tomorrow, that is 2nd of April 2022, insha'Allah ta'ala. So I wish to encourage all Muslims to make the necessary preparations to observe the fasting, the holy month of Ramadan. We all know a lot of benefits that are found in the holy month of Ramadan. I wish to urge Muslims to utilize this chance to intensify all kinds of worship, like the recitation of the Holy Quran, standing up for Taraweeh, standing up for Tahajjud, and even other good things that we are encouraged, especially during this holy month of Ramadan. I also wish to encourage and to urge those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has elevated in status, especially the socio-economic status, to extend a hand of help to the needy, among the orphans, among the indigents, among the widows, and all other categories of the disadvantaged members of the Muslim society. Therefore, officially, I hereby announce that tomorrow, insha'Allah, that is 2nd April 2022, insha'Allah ta'ala, we are beginning observing the fasting of the holy month Ramadan for this year 1443 AH, which is 2022, insha'Allah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, Ramadan Mubarak to our brothers and sisters of the Muslim faith. Let's now take a short commercial break with business.
Pay for your dream phone, Mpola. Get your dream phone today for as low as 1,400 Uganda shillings with free data for a year and pay slowly. All phones come with daily 50 MBs for 12 months. Repayment period is 1 year. Available at MTN service centers and M-Copper shops.
This is how we play. Play with power.
This is how we do it.
How we put a team together. This is how we pass on greatness. Because with this team to inspire us, there's nothing we can't do.
Go for goals and win. Buy a Pepsi glass bottle or Pepsi Max 330 ml. Check another crown and win soda, TVs, caps, t-shirts and cash. Redeem prizes at any Pepsi depot or truck countrywide. Terms and conditions apply. Pepsi, for the love of it.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC Lunchtime News, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We'll now take you to the world of business. Now, the March 2022 Certified Public Accountants Examinations of Uganda have been released, with female candidates performing better than their male counterparts. Out of the 1,560 papers passed, 53% were by female, with male counterparts at 46.3%. The Public Accountants Examination Board Chairperson, CPA, Geoffrey Byamugisha, explains that female candidates have tended to be keener and better prepared for the PAEB examinations.
In economies where the number of accountants is up, you actually see that being reflected by the level of development.
The Public Accountants Examination Board of Uganda has released the March 2022 examination diet, with female candidates performing far better than their male counterparts.
The ladies tend to concentrate on the course. They tend to be to give it time to prepare for the examination.
11 of the top candidates in the just released Public Accountants Examination Board results are female, a feat that has been repeated in several other recent accountants examinations.
11 or 52.4% of the top candidates are female, and 10 or 47.6% are men.
The president of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, Constantine Mayende Othieno, released the examinations in the presence of the Public Accountants Examination Board members, Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda Management, and the media at Sky's Hotel in Kampala.
By virtue of the powers entrusted to me as the president of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, I hereby declare the Certified Public Accountants results for the March 2022 examinations diet released.
The Public Accountants Examination Board Chairman, Geoffrey Byamugisha, explained that the March 2022 examinations were sat in Kampala by 2,890 candidates and were exclusively for CPA course. At least 93 candidates completed the course and have been invited to officially join the 4,455 professional accountants who have so far completed the CPA course by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda since the examinations diets started over 2 decades ago.
Our numbers continue to grow, and we are growing at an encouraging rate. we have a duty as accountants in Uganda to ramp up the numbers, and I know that will have a direct correlation with the development of our country.
Studies have shown that where an economy has a vibrant accountancy profession, that economy moves faster.
The Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda is mandated by an Act of Parliament to examine, regulate, monitor and enroll all accountants in Uganda. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Finish the
The International Hospital Kampala staff have carried out community neighborhood wellness campaign by providing free medical services to residents of Namuwongo. The one-day project was expected to accommodate 5,000 members who were mobilized by area leaders. Let's take a look at these details.
In engagement with the local leaders of these areas, and they have constantly shared with us some of the challenges, especially regarding health services in their region, in their areas, and from their feedback we were able to come up with this program. For someone to be registered to be part of this program, the LC1 chairperson has to recommend them as residents. We all know that the national IDs we have may not accurately depict where we are currently residing. This is in addition to other projects that we have had within this area. We have a project called Touch Namuwongo.
When COVID came, it felt like it destroyed everything my mom had built. She was ready to let go of her dreams. But when one door shuts, a window opens. She grabbed her last kamani and took a leap of faith. She refused to give up. So with a bit of daring and grandma's secret recipe, her business was back. Not just bigger, beyond her wildest imagination.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you, or call or SMS 162. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. It's now time for the international news. Now, an oil storage depot was set on fire in a Russian city just north of Ukraine after what Russia described as an attack by 2 Ukrainian helicopters. A video shared on Twitter showed a blaze near apartment blocks in Belgorod, 40 kilometers from the border. Now, some clips appeared to show rockets hitting the oil depot. Ukraine's top security official, however, denied Ukrainian forces were behind the attack. Ukrainian aircraft have not struck targets in Russia previously. Yet, Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov accused Ukraine of launching the attack, and later Russian Defense Military spokesperson Igor Konashenkov gave details. He said that at around 5 o'clock Moscow time, 2 Ukrainian Mi-24 helicopters entered Russian airspace at extremely low altitude and launched a missile attack on a civilian oil storage facility on the outskirts of Belgorod. Some storage tanks were damaged and caught fire, he said. The spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Russia was now trying to reorganize the fuel supply chain to prevent disruptions of the Belgorod's energy supplies.
6,000 meters high.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back, and now in the world of sports, Altona Swim Club has started earnest preparations for several events, notable of which is the national championship that happens in 2 months. The team has held its latest training session at Centenary Park Swimming Pool in Kampala. More details from our sports team.
The sport of swimming is steadily gaining prominence in Uganda as many youngsters continue registering at several clubs. Altona Swim Club is one of those that have gained a large following, and the good news is that under the guidance of Coach Eric Kisero, success has followed. The club is now focused on increasing its performance and has started early preparations for upcoming national and international engagements. Tara Kisauzi, Abigail Mwagali and Paula Nabukera are some of those that are getting ready for key challenges like the Kana Zone for this month in Zambia and the World School Games in Brazil later this year.
This training is helping me prepare for Nationals 2022 in June, and I'm excited for Nationals, and it's also helping me prepare for Kana and World School Games in Brazil. And Kana is the one I'm really excited for because I'm going to represent Uganda for the first time, and I'm going to go with some of my friends, and I'm going to enjoy it because we are traveling and it's going to be my first time traveling.
While the Altona swimmers also seek places on the Kana Zone 3 team in Tanzania later this year, most of them target a respectable performances at the national championships in June.
For preparing for the nationals, we're doing power sets underwaters to ensure that we get better times in nationals. My coach is giving all of us power sets to ensure that we pull with energy when we are there and get better times.
Altona Swim Club will at the national championship be up against others like Dolphins, Seals and Sailfish Club. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
And that brings us to the end of our lunchtime news bulletin. However, join us for more news updates later on in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and have yourselves a lovely afternoon.